This is a video for the back squat. The first thing we're going to look at in the setup is actually setting our hands. When we set our hands, we want to make sure our hands are slightly outside shoulder width, if not a little bit wider. We want to make sure they're symmetrical on the bar. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop underneath the bar. When we go underneath the bar, we want to make sure the bar is on our upper traps, not too high up on our spine and not up on our neck. We pull the bar into our shoulders. When we unrack it, you're going to see it pop off because I squeeze my glutes to unrack the bar. So when we zoom back, we can see that I set my hands first. I'm going to go underneath the bar, make sure it's in a correct position on my traps, pull the bar in nice and tight. My feet should be under the bar when I unrack it. I squeeze my glutes and it should pop off. The next thing I do is I set my feet. My feet should be slightly outside hip width or shoulder width. Toes should be straight or slightly turned out. When I squat, I break at the knees, sit back, keep my chest up nice and tall, looking forward, keeping the bar parallel to the ground, going all the way down. When we look at a still frame, you can see my knees are out over my ankles, my chest is nice and tall, my elbows are down and back, and I'm sitting back through the heels. My head is forward and not looking up, and the bar should stay relatively parallel to the ground. So looking at a couple of reps here, we want to be nice and controlled on the way down, nice and controlled on the way up, not bouncing out of the bottom or getting uncontrolled through the movement. This is a side view of the squat. I've got it slowed down a little bit. A couple of important things to look at here is that when I go down, my hip joint actually goes lower than my knee joint. I want to go all the way down through a full range of motion for healthy joints. In a still frame, you can see my back stays flat and my elbows actually stay in alignment with my back. The weight should be back through the heels, my head is looking forward, and I'm nice and straight through my backside. The next thing we're going to look at is a still frame of me squatting from the back. Most important thing to look at here is that my shoulder blades are pinned and my elbows are back. You can see that's evident because the lettering on my backside is crinkled together. This will help keep the upper back tight and prevent us from rounding when we go in the bottom position of the squat. So when we look at the video footage, elbows back, shoulders pinned. We break at the knees to start the movement. We sit back to the heels, chest stays tall, and the bar stays relatively parallel to the ground.